You tell me if this doesn't sort of start the gears grinding. Today, I heard some news. I read some stuff. I do read sometimes, and it really pissed me off. And on a few levels. So we're going to talk about it. And this is food for thought. We are questioning everything they've ever said. And in the world right now, there's this big, you know, climate change, all this stuff. There's a certain conference that is global leaders get together and they discuss these things. And now whatever the issues are, they come to fruition. And what I read today was this is kind of fascinating. So we are getting together to discuss climate change, which is great. Okay, let's be real. We probably have affected our planet in certain ways. Do we agree on the ways they are being affected? Probably not. There is a lot of diversity there in the way people think. My opinion, which I will share later, is kind of irrelevant here because I looked at the menu of this conference where they are gathering to discuss plans to be greener, a better planet. The first thing on the menu in Egypt, by the way, is salmon with creamy sauce and chives with basmati rice. Now, Egyptian salmon probably is very local. And reading further, find out that it's flown from Alaska. It's Atlantic salmon. So do you see what I'm saying here? This should really, really disturb you because these people are getting together discussing emissions, all the problems with pollution in the world, yet they're flying and okay with this salmon from the Atlantic Ocean to Egypt to be the first dish option on this menu. I'm going to post the menu up here. And if you notice, there is not one vegetarian option, let alone Egypt, I'm sure, has great diversity in their grains, couscous, falafels, and all these things that could be possibly, not to mention world-renowned chefs that are very good at, creating dishes that might have a semblance of, climate diversity involved, going greener, using induction to lower the fossil fuel load. No, they ship salmon from the Atlantic Ocean. All right, and then the rest of the menu, I'll put it here. You can see Angus beef medallions with mushroom sauce, grilled sea bass. All I'm assuming are great local Egyptian fare. Marinated grilled beef, ravioli with pesto cheese and cream. All these plant-based options that are we must go plant-based to stop climate change. All these world leaders. Chicken breast with orange gravy sauce and basmati rice. So, on my side of things, yes, I eat meat. I believe there's two sides to an ecosystem, and I don't think we're getting told the whole story. Do I believe that meat is causing climate change? Well, let's look at it logically, okay? Animals and humans have been around for, since the dawn of time. Their contribution to the change in the environment probably is not nearly as significant as the amount of industrial pollution that we are causing. Yet, how can a poor little innocent cow that's natural be contributing more to it? Now, I'm not saying farming, factory farming, CAFOs, and all this industrial agriculture is a good thing. I have done my part. I try to source out local farms for my beef, the best to my ability, because I can't really afford it all the time. But that would be my primary option. And in a perfect world, for sure, support local, seasonal. Now, all the shit about the agriculture, monocrop agriculture destroys the topsoil. Animals regenerate the topsoil. It does not take a rocket scientist to figure this out. It is a balance and a dance of an ecosystem. When you destroy the grounds with pesticides and Roundup, glyphosate, all this shit, there is something called the shikimate pathway. It's all the microbes and the fungus and the stuff in the soil destroyed. When you plant plants on it, they don't absorb the nutrients. It's pretty simple. We need to fertilize it with something. NPK fertilizer has been around for, whatever. And like I say, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. We're just using some rational thought here. And this kind of really pisses me off because there's this big vegan versus animals. And the only way to resolve this is to have open discourse and debate about what are practical solutions for human health and for human beings to thrive. Canceling out one thing does not make it okay. Now, all these people that are discussing our planet's future are living hypocrisy right in that menu. Not one local option. Well, maybe it is local, but realistically, come on, like a nice falafel or a couscous dish would be nice to see. I'm not against being a vegetarian. I'm not against being a vegan. I understand there is ethics to it. My standpoint on things have been, the world, before we disrupted it, had a very natural, delicate balance. We have completely derailed that. So in order to be all plant-based and it's monocropped, I asked Bill Gates. He's the biggest farmer in the United States. Why? He wants you to eat plant-based, yet I'm sure he's a proponent of this summit. And what's on the menu? Just look at the irony there. Look at the hypocrisy. These people are telling you to do things, sacrifice your health, sacrifice your sanity, sacrifice your humanity in the name of the greater good, yet they are unable to do it. Now, all through the pandemic, we show that the leaders that are telling us to lock down, stay safe, and isolate have completely, I don't care if it's 1 or 10 of them. They were partying and got busted for it. Why is it not good for them, but it's good? It's good for us. We must do it. So, over my journey, I have seen things that have caused me to wake up. And I want you to question everything too. And these are the questions I pose because if we evolved on eating plants, which we may have, there was plants obviously in it, the agricultural revolution changed everything. The Industrial Revolution changed everything. Do you think maybe those things have impacted climate change? Have impacted the way our planet is? I'm all for a very natural planet. I try and live a natural life. I want to breathe naturally. I'm trying to get my way out of the city into the fresh air just as much as anybody. I believe in a local farming system where animals, you could grow your own crops. I would even eat the vegetables I grew if I knew the soil was replete with minerals, if I knew that there was nothing foreign on them, and I could just cultivate the seasonal fruits and eat them accordingly. I don't trust the supermarket because God knows what's happened. If I'm in Canada and I'm eating fruit from Mexico, how fresh do you think it is? What do you think is the process of getting there? It's pure and simple. A banana from Mexico is not better than a banana from Vancouver, and bananas don't grow in Vancouver. So maybe this system is skewed. Now we get this conference where all these leaders go and discuss our way of dealing with it, yet they can't even follow the basic principles of what they stand for or that are going there for. They fly in their private jets, in their motorcades. They don't jet pool. They don't carpool. And they're eating food that they're telling you is bad for you, is bad for us, is bad for the planet, without any repercussions or with impunity. Do you see what I'm saying here? So when they tell you to do something, do they do it? What's good for you, does it mean it's good for them? Now, when I think of a leader, when I think of inspiration, role models, mentors, I want to be led by example. Sorry, that's human nature. I don't care what you think, but at least lead me in the direction that you're going. Yet look at what's happening. They're going to take away our money. They're taking away our freedoms bit by bit. And it all ties into it. I got into this space because of nutrition, and I found holes in the way things are. And of course, there's arguments. You might not even agree with me. That's great. I encourage that. But time and time again, through almost every single faction of our society, these things are getting pushed in the wrong way and forcing us to sacrifice when they don't even care. You know what? You want to be a plant-based guy? Bill Gates? Prove to me you don't eat meat. Prove to me that you live on the shit that you make. Simple. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. That's it. And I'm going to keep this short, but I want everybody to, just think. It comes down to thinking, and thinking, maybe all the chemicals and the pesticides and all the environmental toxins are affecting our brains, which is very possible. Think from a foundational level. Why is that happening at that place? That should be the forefront, the innovation, the example of new age thinking, innovation, technology, but yet no, it's traditional. Atlantic salmon. You got to be kidding me. I'd like to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you for joining us. We are questioning everything they ever said, and now showing there's good reason to. All right, please like and subscribe. And if this, can inspire or, generate some discourse, share it. Because you know what? I'm not happy with the way they tell us to be. Stay strong.